All right, here to react now is former acting director of national intelligence as well as a former ambassador to Germany. That is Rick Grenell. Rick, always good to see you. Thanks for coming on. I just want to remind you, I'm going to play this and I'm going to get your thoughts on it. This is what Attorney General nominee Merrick Garland had to say about the Durham investigation. Here's that.
Do you believe the Durham investigation is a legitimate investigation?
Senator, I don't know anything really about the investigation.
You've read the Horowitz report. Do you think somebody should look at what happened?
Well, I do think somebody should look at what happened with respect to those FISAs, absolutely, and I believe the Inspector General has done that.
Chairman Graham clearly pressing him there. Is that appropriate for him to press him on that topic matter? And are you satisfied with the knowledge that Mr. Garland has on the subject matter? Your thoughts?
Yes and no. I am very encouraged to see senators pushing on this issue because it's a very important issue. And no, I'm not satisfied with the answer. This is a very simple answer. If you're going to be the Attorney General, you need to just simply say the only way someone can be fired is for cause. We're not going to stop investigations. What are they afraid of? I mean, what happens if the investigation comes forward and it proves the Democrats' point, which it won't, but what happens if it did? This is a total opportunity for Merrick Garland to show that he is completely unbiased, and he failed the test. Look, I think that going into this confirmation hearing, everybody thought Merrick Garland was a shoo-in. He had been voted multiple times by senators before for previous positions and considered for a Supreme Court position. I think people were comfortable with him as a judge. But as an Attorney General, this is a different job. And what he did was really raise a lot of questions that he is not going to be an Attorney General. He's going to be more of a judge in that seat, and that's not what we need. We need somebody to run the Department of Justice. And so you have to take positions when you're running the Department of Justice. You can't just sit back and pretend like you're a judge. I think he's ill-fitted, and some of his answers are showing this. And so we may have him in the wrong job, and they should consider him for maybe something else.
Merrick Garland also said that the Portland attacks, so many attacks, by the way, at the suburb, but the Portland one specifically on a federal courthouse building, are not acts of domestic terror. One of the reasons given is because of the time of day, because they happened at night. What are your thoughts on that and responding between the two, differentiating between what happened January 6th and really what happened all summer?
Look, when you take his answers, on this answer about whether it's at night or during the day or the severity of it, and you look at all of his answers where he says, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. You see a man who is a judge and who's been trained as a judge to just sit in a chair and wait for evidence to be presented to him, and then he just give his opinion. Now, there's a lot of merit in that, and there are a whole bunch of positions where that is a criteria or an asset. But this is not something that we need in an Attorney General. An Attorney General needs to be a manager, needs to be somebody who has the wherewithal to run a department, to manage. And I think what we're seeing during this confirmation hearing is that he's the wrong man for the Attorney General's job.
And one of the questions posed about immigration was, is it illegal? Is it a crime to illegally cross our borders? He said he hasn't thought about this question. Is that appropriate? Is that a difficult question? If you do something illegal, isn't that a crime?
This is a scary answer from him. Of course it's a crime. And this just highlights once again that as a judge, he doesn't like to give opinions. And what he wants to be able to do is look at more facts. And so, again, that's totally appropriate in certain jobs, but not for the Attorney General job. He should have immediately just said, well, of course we have laws. And if you cross over and you break the law, you don't wait in line. Again, we should always say, I, as a conservative, we absolutely are generous when it comes to immigration. This country gives 1 million people a year citizenship. We are the most generous country in the world when it comes to citizenship. We want more immigrants to legally come. but there's a line, and you can't jump the line. And we are not going to be positioned as people who hate immigration simply because we want a line. When I go to the grocery store, I wait in line. I don't jump up to the front just simply because I want to get out of there faster. I go to the line. When there's a line at the bathroom, I wait in line. These are just basic human principles. That doesn't mean I hate the bathroom or I hate the grocery store. It means that I wait in line and I'm respectful. And this is what I think conservatives have to do, is we have to push back on this narrative that somehow breaking across the border and breaking the rules by calling that out is somehow anti-immigrant. That's ridiculous.
I've cut lines at theme parks before, I'm not going to lie, but that's a completely different subject. Look, before you go, I've got to get your thoughts on this one. This shocking report out that former Secretary of State John Kerry and members of the Biden team secretly met with Iranian leaders at the end of Trump's term to reportedly undermine his policies. We know Kerry has been open about a meeting twice there with the foreign minister. Is this not a violation of the Logan Act? Why or why not?
Yeah, I'm very troubled by this because there's a total double standard when it comes to enforcement of this in Washington. I think we've got to look at the details, because if these meetings were happening and he was undermining U.S. policy by offering a different alternative, a different set of carrots, if you will, we really need to get to the bottom of this. And I think that U.S. senators, the Department of Justice, the White House, and the State Department, all of them should look at the details, and we should not look the other way just simply because John Kerry is a Democrat and the Democrats are in power.
Still awaiting an answer from the State Department on that. Rick Grenell, it's always great to see you, sir. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Sean.
Hi, Emma Reckenberg here. If you like this video, there's a whole lot more to see on Newsmax TV. You can watch for free right here on our YouTube live stream and be the first one here each time our experts break down real news. Just hit that subscribe button, ring the bell icon, and stay with us on America's fastest growing cable news channel, Newsmax TV.